Hi everyone, my name is Sue. I am a YMCA fitness instructor, and today we're going to be doing a 30-minute core class. So when we say core, that means anything from the shoulders on down past the hips, including the hip flexors and also our glutes. So we're going to get it all in today. We're going to work front side, back side, obliques, hip flexors, and glutes. Along with that, we're going to be working a little bit of shoulders. So what you need for this class is a mat or a comfortable carpeted surface that you can lie on. Shoes are optional. I'm going to choose not to wear shoes today. If you want to wear shoes because it helps you to balance a little bit better, that's fine. If you want to have a chair handy for a little bit of balancing work, that's fine too, or maybe a wall nearby. Do what works for you, but there is a little balancing involved in the workout. Also, you will need water close by for drinks as needed, and optional again, a set of light hand weights that we're not picking up. They're just going to be on the floor, doing some plank variations, possibly to keep your wrists straighter. If that's what normally works for you, have those handy. Otherwise, we can be here or we can be here, okay? So we're going to be working all aspects of the core. When we are talking about working the core, we're talking about pulling the core in and pulling the ribs back, because that engages your core muscles. So we're never actually relaxing on any of these exercises. Even when we're lying on our abs, we're still pulling those abs in toward our spine. So we're going to always start with a warm-up. I'm going to encourage you, maybe right now you're in your pajamas or you're in sweatpants, and that's totally fine, but for the next class that I do, which is going to be a little bit more Pilates based, I'm going to encourage you to put on your workout clothes like you were going out for a workout. Maybe you're the Y for a workout. Because mentally that prepares you to work more like the athlete that you are. Because if you weren't an athlete, you wouldn't be tuned in right now. So if you feel the part, you're going to present the part, you're going to work harder. So I'm going to encourage you for next time to put on your workout gear and just really get into the strong moves that this 30 minutes is going to offer. If you're not in that attire right now, that's totally fine. But we're going to be working and squeezing for 30 minutes. You're probably going to work up a sweat. So take breaks as you need. Don't push pause, just break the rep. Jump right back in if you need to. Okay, so we're starting with our warm-up. We're just going to open up our feet wide. We're going to stretch up. We're going to reach. We're going to look at those hands. We're going to open the chest and bring it back down. Let's get a little bit deeper in a little squat. Reach up, pull it down. Again, nice strong movements, nice strong arms. And down. Okay. We're going to transfer the weight a little bit. We're going to point that right foot, reach up diagonally, lift that foot long, and then we're going to just lean a little bit, getting that stretch. Bring it down, transfer the weight, point, lift, lean, tap, transfer. So we're just transferring that weight, maybe with a little bit of that lean. Maybe lean it a little bit more. We're going to do one more each side. We're working already through our stretches, through our warm-up. Bring it down. All right, open those feet wide. We're going to round the back, leading with the shoulders, rounded spine. We're going to find the floor, fingers to the floor. We're looking right at those hands. Sink those hips down into a squat. Working through a squat, and then sink it as low as you can to a low squat. We're going to bring it back up. Round the back. Again, look at those hands. Straighten those legs as much as you can. You're going to feel those hamstrings burn a little bit as you stretch that down. Shoulders down and back. Do it again. Roll it forward. Round the back down. Fingers to the floor. Find the squat. Work through it. Here we're opening up those hips. Okay, we're preparing the hips for a lot of work in those hip flexors. Round the back, fingers stay down. Press a little bit more here now toward your thighs. We're going to feel those hamstrings get nice and tight back there as they stretch. Little soft bend in the knees if that's what works for you. Otherwise, roll it up. Nice and slow. Shoulders roll down and back. All right. Open up your feet a little wider. Side lunge. Side lunge. Now push those hips back. Flatten your abs, straight back. We're going to drop the hips down and back, getting that nice open hip stretch. Give me a couple more. One more each side. All right. Just place those hands to the floor and drop to your knees. I'm going to turn to the side just for presentation purposes. We're going to put one foot out. We're going to open up that forward hip. Place your hands down. Push the toes down. Get into a runner's lunge here. So we're opening up that back hip. Push the heel back. Straighten the front leg. Flex the foot. And drive the chest toward that thigh. Let's bring it back low. Look straight ahead, chest lifted, pushing those hips down a little bit further. Bring it back with a straight leg. Press it in. Let's go ahead and walk that up. And switch sides. So dropping the knee, pushing the hip forward first. Hands down, runner's lunge. We're going to push it back, lift that heel, chest to thigh. Push it down again, a little lower, really feeling that hip flexor stretch. We're going to be working those quite a bit. Bring it back. Let's go ahead and lock that in. Round the back, find your feet. Slowly roll it up. Exaggerated the roundness of the back. Bring it back. Okay. We are going to find a shoulder stretch here. So I want you to get down on your knees. Push up long into a child's pose. Bring one arm under, drop that shoulder to the mat, and look past the other shoulder to the ceiling. So long spine, arms straight out, other shoulder down, looking up at the ceiling, bringing it back, rounding it up, flatten the back. Let's stretch out our wrist. Our wrists are really important because we're going to be on them a little bit. Fingers wide, palms down. We're just going to transfer that weight forward. So we're in a tabletop position here. My hips are right over those knees. Shoulders are over those hands as we push forward and through. A little bit of rocking motion forward and back. It's a very slight movement. I want you to turn your fingers towards your knees. Heels of the hands planted down. Little lean forward. And just a little rock back. We're still stretching out those wrists. This is where those weights come in. When we get to our workout, if you have too much flexion on your wrist, you can use those weights to keep those wrists a little straighter. Let's put those fingers out to the side. A little bit of rocking side to side. Give me a few more. And then this one is a very light pressure. Turn your hands over, closer to your knees. Most of the weight is on your knees. Very light pressure on the backs of those hands. We're going to lean back just a little bit. Lean forward, lean back. Roll up those wrists as you bring them up. And we are ready for our workout. The first workout that we're going to do is our basic curl. Basic curl is feet on the floor, knees bent. Hands behind your head, elbows loose and wide. So my gaze is diagonally up to the ceiling. It's never right over the knees. I'm never looking at my navel. And I'm not hyperextending the head either. So keep that small apple space between your chin and your chest. Elbows wide, light pressure on the head. We're lifting the shoulders, and we're dropping back down. Now you do not have to come down all the way. We're just lifting and holding, exhaling here, and inhaling here. As you bring this up, pull your abs down, toward your spine. Squeeze your glutes. Keep your legs parallel. Don't let them wing out. Because this right here is helping you get here. Let's do 8 more. 8. Pause at the top. 4. Now every time we are lifting upper body, we are working upper abs. Everything goes through your core, and your core has to be strong for everyday safe movement. So we worked upper abs here. Anytime we lift our legs, we're using lower abs. So you can keep your knees bent for this exercise, or we can have them straighter. This is where that towel comes in. We're going to be doing some leg lowers and lifts. So you can place that towel roll underneath your glutes and lower back right here. Or you can simply put your hands here. Now when you put your hands here, squeeze your glutes and push down. That movement right there is helping you engage your core. Okay? So your legs can stay bent. I want the knees over the hips. They can be together or they can be apart. But don't bring them in any closer than that. I want to work strength and not flexibility. We're going to lower the feet, pulling those ribs down toward your backside, and then bringing them back. Now you can have your head and shoulders down, or you can lift if that's a little bit easier, right here. This is your bent leg option. Another option is straight legs, feet together. Hands can stay here. We're only lowering as far as we can, keeping your back to the mat or the floor. As soon as I start going here, and you see that big arch underneath your back, that's not what we want. We want to pull this down. Squeeze this, because that will help you engage this to the mat. Your hands can be here, they can stay here. We're just going to lift, we're going to lower. Squeeze, hold, right over the hips, squeeze, hold. Let's do 10 more. You either have bent legs or straight. Here's 3. You can lift on the hold, or you can keep those head and shoulders down. Let's do 5 more. 3, 2, squeeze those glutes. 1, hold, and return. Give those knees a little hug. Chances are you are pointing your feet. Flex and point. Roll those ankles out. Okay, so we worked uppers for those curls. We worked lowers for the leg lifts. Now we're going to put that together. We're bringing both upper and lowers together. So we're going to be working full frontal obliques. This is what we can do. We can stay in that bent leg curl position, so we can go right here and just have a leg lift. Okay, we're working uppers and lower abs right here. You can take that a little higher and go here. Now arms can come back here, or they can go hollow right here. Hollow stays hollow, not letting everything come back down. Stay lifted, stay engaged, okay? If you want to extend this a little bit more challenging, again, keeping that back to the mat, we can be hollow body here. Tabletop is here. Okay? If you want more, straight leg or straddle. If you want a variation, tuck, pike, straddle, that's 1, 2, 3. You can do that. You can combo it. You can change it anytime. We're going to go for 12. So pick your option, and we're going to count for 12. Slow and controlled. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Awesome job. Catch your breath. Those are hard. We are going to go to, let me just look at my notes here because I have this sequence here. We're going to go to a perfect plank. So I know you guys know how to plank. You all know what plank means. It means board, it means straight, it means tight. Perfect plank, fingers wide, wrist underneath the shoulders. We start in a tabletop position. Plank options are hands and toes, hands and knees, forearms and toes, forearms and knees. Okay, so you pick your plank option. Weight over the shoulders. If you're in a hand, foot plank, heels back, squeeze your legs, squeeze your thighs, squeeze your glutes, pull your abs in, pull the ribs back. We're in a hollow plank. My gaze is about a foot in front of my hands to the floor. So I'm never looking at the hands, never dropping the head. I'm not looking up, trying not to sag, trying not to pike. We're right here and we're squeezing. I want you to find your plank option, whether it's here, on your knees, your feet are up, those hips are pushed down, your ribs are still in. Okay? Forearms, elbows underneath the shoulders, hands here, no praying. Squeeze, squeeze, gaze, same spot. Knees, same thing. Okay? So find your perfect plank option. We're going to count to 30. All right? Find it, squeeze it, find that gaze, inhale and slow through the nose, slow through the mouth. So inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, count in your head. 10. We can do it. You should be sweating by now. If you need to change your plank, change your plank. That's okay. But stay strong. Do it with your best form that you can do. If your form is struggling, please change your plank. Nine, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop those knees if they're not already down. Bring it back. Strong child's pose. Forearms off the floor. Lean back into those heels. Flatten out your back. Come up, roll out those wrists. All right, roll out those wrists. We're going to go back to front core. We're going to come back to some side plank action, working obliques. But let's give those wrists a little break first. Front core, my favorite core exercise. Working obliques, standing or lying. We're going to have one leg up 90 degrees, knee over the hip. Flex the foot. Arms are loose behind that head. We are going to be leaving the shoulder down on the opposite side as a lift. The lift is shoulder out, driving that shoulder toward that leg. I want the leg to stay here. I don't want you to bring it in here. We're not doing this. We're getting up higher here. Keeping this elbow down gets you to get up higher with that other shoulder up. Okay? As we switch, this leg is going to pull up long and tight. Squeezing the quad, squeezing the inner thigh, flexing that foot, pushing that heel out. Remember to only keep this stacked over the hip. So we're lifting, lifting. See the switch? It's purposeful and it's tight. So join me. We're going for 12. 2. We're pausing at the top of each one. Give me 6 more. 9. Exhale as you come up. Use your breath. Give me one more each side. Bring those knees in. Give them a little hug. Little momentum as we roll that up. All right, guys, this is where it becomes real. We're going to be in the side plank. You have different options for your side plank as well. Drop on your hip. I'm going to show you your options. We're going to start with an elbow side plank. Elbow right underneath the shoulder, hand extended out straight, fingers wide. We're on that side hip. Legs are straight. We're going to push up, flex those feet onto those feet, pulling that hip up. Then I want you to open up your hips, open your shoulder. This helps. Maybe follow that with the gaze upward. Now, variations to this. Knee down, bent. Push that hip up. Still opening and reaching. You want to go bananas, you can go here. If you want to go back to that extended long plank, you can go here. You can go here. If you want to stagger this, top leg goes in front, and you can be here. Never bring that top leg back here, because see what happens to that alignment. Okay, it pulls it out of whack. So other option is here. Now, you can do that all on your forearm. You can also do that on your hand. Hand underneath the shoulder. Find it. Find it. Squeeze it. You don't have to look up. You can be here. You can be here. You can be here. We're going to hold each side for 15 seconds. So, find your side plank, what works for you, and let's do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, count in your head. Change it if you want. 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it down. All right, flip it on over. Other side. What you did on one side, if you barring any injuries, try to do on the other side. Try to match it if you can. If you can't, modify. Find it. You're going to find balance on one side usually a little easier than the other. Count it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Shaking is good. Shaking is okay. Reset as you need to. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Bring it down. Awesome job, you guys. Roll out those wrists. If you were on your hands that whole time, those wrists are probably a little bit sore. All right, we are going to go to hollow body tabletop. This is what I want to see. We're going to give our wrist a break. Fist, keeping the wrist straight, or hand weights. Have them right here. We're either going to hang on to those weights here. Okay. We're going to let go of the weight, and we're going to re-grab. So we're here, and we're re-grabbing. Make sure that your shoulders are still right over those fists. Pulling your abs in, kind of that hollow body again. We're going to pull our feet up, cross them, and squeeze your glutes. So you're feeling that squeeze right here. The lower you are to the floor on the lift, now you can lift those weights if they're lightweight, but I want you to come down lightly. So we're going to hold, and whether it's the weight or just your fist, try to get that little hold right here. If you need to come up a little higher, it's a little easier to come down light. So you can go 1. Squeeze your glutes. Squeeze together right here. Squeeze. 3, 4. I'm looking right past my fist. Making sure the shoulders are still right over those fists. Trying to get that little pause. 6 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome job, you guys. Let's stay right here. You can stay here with fist or on those weights, or you can return to hands here. This is where we're going. Knees underneath the hips. We're going to flex the foot. When we flex the foot and we push that heel back, it engages your quad. It engages your glute versus a pointed foot that doesn't engage it as much. So I want the heel flexed, and I want you to really feel that extension and that push through that heel. So we're going to bring that in. We're going to push it out, squeeze. We're going to bring it out to the side. We're going to bring it back. We're going to bring it back in and reset. Same side. In, out, side, in, reset. You can reset down or stay hovered. Bring the knee in, push the foot out. Still with the flexed foot, still engaging. Bring it back, bring it in. Here's 3. We're going to do 8 on each side. 4. 5. We're pushing evenly into those hands. Try not to bend. Try not to lean. Abs in tight. Remember, your gaze is a foot in front of those hands when we push out to that plank, that one-legged plank. That knee is the base. 1 more. Forgive me if I lose count as I'm talking. That tends to happen. Take the time to roll at your wrist, and we're going to go to the other side. I'm going to back up just a little bit so I'm not kicking my plant. In, squeeze that heel back. Make sure that those hips aren't turning. We don't want to go here. We want those glutes engaged. Side, return, squeeze. There's our crunch squeeze. Squeeze. If you're not squeezing it, you're not working it, you should feel this on every part of this move. Here's 4. We're almost halfway. 5. 6. 7. And 8. Nice job. Bring that in. Return. Bring it up. All right. Now we're going to pull down to work our back, which is also part of our core. This is not a break. This is not a rest, because what we're doing on that mat is we're still pulling the abs into the spine. We're still pushing the glutes into the hips. And now we're going to pull that rib cage off the mat, creating that hollow, okay? So we're not just relaxing into the mat to work our backside. We're also still working the front side core. So get a nice long body over that mat. Arms come out long overhead. This is where I want you to be. Squeeze your legs together, point the toes. Squeeze your glutes really hard together. Pull your abs into your spine. Pull your ribs into your spine. So you've got that hollow space now underneath. By squeezing your glutes harder, you can maintain that hollow space. We're going to stay right here, nose to the mat. We're only going to lift legs, thighs off the floor, creating that space. Pick up that chest. We're going to hover, lift, hover, lift. Keeping those legs and glutes tight. 3. Don't let them come down all the way. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. 11. 12. Relax just for a second. This is your break. Let everything melt into the mat. We're going to come back to that hollow body, tight. Ribs to the back, abs to the back, squeezing the legs tight. But this time we're going to do upper back. So arms are still long, legs are still tight. Find that squeeze, find that hollow, nose down, chest. Now your arms are going to stay covering your ears. We're going to lift. Legs stay planted, lower hover. Lift. Do not lift the head. Keep the head neutral with the spine. Your arms stay covering those ears. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 4 on 10, 11, 12. Relax. Your glutes should be on fire. You do not need to do bridges to only work the glutes. You can work it in other ways like this too. You should be feeling this. Hands, goalpost position. We're going to put this together. So, goalpost position. We're going to lift the thighs off the floor as we lift upper body. Now my gaze is going to be straight down, right in front of my nose to that mat. So I'm not lifting the head. I'm not going here. I don't want to hyperextend that back. I want to be strong, controlled arch, squeeze, point, lift, hold, hover, hold, hover. 3, 4. Now as you do this, squeeze those shoulder blades together. Find that scapular retraction. There's 5, 6, halfway, let's count down. 6, 5, hold it. 3, 2, hold, return. Awesome job, you guys. Hands by your chest. We're going to keep the lower body down. We're going to peel the upper body up. You can come here. Just find that little stretch. Straighten those arms as you can, pushing those hips down. Lift the head. Stretch out that cervical spine. If you want to push up even higher, walk those hands in. Get an upward dog here. Push it down. We're going to push back into a child's pose. Knees drop. Arms go long in front. Forearms lifted off the floor. Shoulder blades pushing toward the floor. Long spine over the heels. Eyes down. We're going to stretch back through tabletop. Drop the hips. Find that upward dog again, or just stretch right here. Drop the knees. Let's bring it back one more time for the child's pose. Awesome job, you guys. Couple more stretches just to finish it up. Come back to your hands and your knees. Flat tabletop, abs in tight. We're going to bring it to a scared cat, round the back, drop the chin, drop the tailbone underneath, curve spine up, drop it down, cat, lift the chin, lift the tailbone. One more time, do a cat, and then sink it down one more time, do a cow. All right, come on up, open up your hips. We want nice tall hips. Feet can be together, knees are slightly apart. Hands either on your waist, on your glutes, on your thighs, but we're just going to look up. And we're going to get a little lean back, and you're going to feel the stretch in your hip flexors and in your quads. Pull your abs in tight. It's a controlled arch. Maybe finding those heels. Arch it up a little bit more. Squeeze your glutes. This is our camel pose. It's a great stretch for that spine. Bring it up tall, arms overhead, follow those hands, push those hips forward, and squeeze. Open up the chest. All right, hip flexor stretch, one leg out, pushing it down. Find those hands alongside that foot, and then just lower those shoulders toward the floor. Keeping that knee against your shoulder. Maybe finding those forearms and just really opening up that stretch. Those hip flexors got a good workout today. Bring those hands in. Outside hand stays planted alongside that foot. Pop up onto those back toes, either with a straight leg or keep that knee down. We're just going to open it up. Follow that hand. Get that stretch. You may be here. You may be here. Sink that lunge down a little bit further. Hand brings back down alongside that foot. Bring it back, walk those hands back. Flex that forward foot. Drop the chest under the thigh. Get that stretch. We're going to switch here. Hip flexor forward. Really open it up. Find those hands underneath the shoulders. Knee stays planted against the shoulder. Or the arm, again, lowering down. Maybe finding those forearms, getting that stretch. Make sure you keep breathing. Walk it up, outside hand stays planted. Inside hand, either with the bent knee down to the floor or that straight leg. We're going to follow it up, open the chest, sink it down. Hand returns to the outside of that foot, dropping that knee. As we walk it back, hips go back, foot flexed, drive your chest down to that thigh, get that hamstring stretch. And we're going to walk our hands up, meet that foot with the other foot. Let's find that squat low. So I'll pull myself off from the side view here. Squat low, open up those hips. Keep the fingers down. Walk those fingers toward your legs a little bit more, maybe through your feet, and push back into your thighs. Right now we're really feeling those hamstrings stretch. Roll it up. Shoulders come up last. Roll them back. Refix your gaze. Open the chest. Clasp the hands behind. Open the chest here. Lift the chin. And one last shoulder stretch. Taking the right arm, or right hand pulling, left hand pulling with the right arm. Dropping that ear to the arm that's doing the pulling. It doesn't matter if you have right or left going on back here. But when you're ready, go ahead and switch. Pull, drop. All right, we're going to finish our workout today with 2 nice deep cleansing breaths. So we're going to fill up those lungs and hold, and then exhale out slow. So inhale through the nose, deep squat up, fill up your lungs, hold, slow exhale out through the mouth. And one more deep inhale in, and release. Awesome job, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me today. My next class is going to be more core, a little bit of Pilates, different moves. Come ready to work out, come ready to sweat. We'll see you later. Have a great day.